Bang. There we go. Had to adjust the camera a little bit. What's going on, guys? So I made a YouTube video the other day on healing systems and really what that means to me. But I completely left out. I was extremely tired yesterday, and I left out active and passive healing systems. And I think this is very important to talk about when you are talking about recovery systems, healing systems. That's what I say. That's the way that I use recovery systems. I say healing systems just because, and I go into more of my story in the other video. So if you haven't checked that one out about how I got into healing systems and all of that, basically to summarize it, it was a lot of physical bodily pain that was coming up, whether it be a torn hamstring, a lot of psychological issues going on that I needed to take care of, or trauma coming up from past surgeries, car crashes, you name it. So I go really in depth on the story, my personal story of why I got into it and how. So now I'm going to go more in depth about passive and active healing systems, more along the lines of ones that you can pay for and ones that are free, you could do right now without any help. So first off, if you could hear that noise in the background, it's like rain with Native American flutes. Turn it up real quick. So I believe that these systems, they change and evolve over time, right? I mentioned that in my previous video, based on where you are currently at in your life. So right now, my meditation process in the morning, and I just got back on meditation. Sometimes I fall off and I have to get back on it, but I'm meditating to this right now, the rain and the thunder and the flute. I found that it really brings me into my body when I'm meditating in the morning, which is 15, 20 minutes. That's something that you could do right now. So let's talk about that. Let's go right into it. Oh, we're going to go into passive healing systems. I feel like a teacher right now. Passive healing systems and what this means to me. So when I talk about passive, this is going to go forgive me if I spell something wrong too. My spelling's not that great. Passive healing. I put meditation underneath this, right? Because what is meditation? It's something where you do not need another person to do it. You only need yourself and a place where you can close your eyes and breathe. And that's it. So it's passive. You're letting the healing flow through you. You're just allowing, rather than trying to manipulate your breathing or your nervous system in any type of way. You're just grounding yourself into the present moment, into what is. So there's so many types of meditations, right? Like you could do one that's more active, like a moving meditation, like a Osho dance type meditation, ecstatic dance. I'll put that more in the active healing. But for right now with the passive, let's move on. One of my favorite ways of healing, boom, hot springs. This has been, one of the most important things that I have done for my body. Taking trips when I can to the hot springs. If I'm blessed and I have enough time and energy to do it, I can camp out there and hit it 2 days over the weekend. So I'm actually going camping this weekend, and I'm going to hit the hot springs with my girlfriend. And there's something about the water within the hot springs that completely rejuvenates the body in so many types of ways. I mean, it's crazy how many minerals that are in that water just flowing through the earth that we are not tapping into on a day-to-day basis. Our water from the shower, our water that we're drinking, bottled water, all of that shit is stripped. It's stripped, and we cannot tap into the essence of water. When you get into, man, I sound like a fucking philosopher right now. When you submerge your body into the hot springs, you do not need to do anything. You just go and you're just there. You know what I mean? Like you don't need to manipulate your breath. You don't need to think about anything. You just need to relax and be in it. That's it. So at the hot springs that I go to, there's also a cold plunge. So it's really cold water. You could do this at home too. I like to sprinkle some Epsom salt in it, and you're just in there. You are absorbing the minerals from the Epsom salt, from the cold water, and you're just trying to get into the moment. And your brain is going to tell you everything to get your ass outside of the water. It's going to be like, holy shit, fuck this. I want to leave. Don't do it. Try to stay in there for 5 minutes. It just focus on your breathing. Try to calm down. Our brain is in a beta state. Very reactive throughout the day. So if you can tap into things that will put you into the moment and that will make you focus a little bit more, you're going into your brain and you're rewiring how it works on a day-to-day basis, whether you realize it or not. Anything that is beyond the amount of energy that we need to survive, we're not going to take part in it. And you have to be aware of that. Like if you're putting yourself through pain, like if you've ever been to a Bikram yoga class, you understand how fucking difficult it is to be in the heat. Your body's like, dude, we don't have to be here. Like there's a door right there. Like it's right there, and we could run out of this bitch right now. But keeping yourself in that present moment and staying in that healing system has no boundaries of what it can do, you know, in terms of healing injuries, recovering your mind, helping you out mentally, spiritually, physically. Let's move on. Next one up, I'm just going to put sensory D. So this is sensory deprivation. What do I mean by this? So there is a place that I go to here in town. I stopped doing it, but when I first did it, I could only do it for about 30 minutes or so. And it really affected me because it just launched me off into my body. Now, I didn't realize until I did sensory deprivation how much I lived outside of my body, whether it be social media, talking to friends, hanging out with family, working out, fucking just out here talking, doing whatever I can to not be inside of my body, right? I think a lot of people can resonate with that. So this is probably one of my favorite ways to meditate. These two right here. Hot springs, boom. Sensory deprivation. And there's so much Epsom salt filled up in this tank where you're floating. It creates a natural buoyancy with your body where you don't even have to think about floating. You're just floating. And it's like you're meditating in space, if you could imagine that. Sensory deprivation helped me out so much because it literally takes your brainwave from a beta state to a theta state. That's very, very difficult to do. Monks are on that level. Monks can get to a theta state because they've been meditating for 30, 40, 50 years. you can get to it by doing one float session right now. It is kind of expensive, and yeah, it is a process to do it, so you can't just show up and like you can the hot springs and just hop in it. You have to fill out paperwork and yada yada yada, but check it out. It's fucking awesome. So trying to think if there's any more. I don't want to leave anything out. It's funny in these videos, in these YouTube videos, I'm talking a lot slower. I think I'm maturing as a speaker, and like my eyes are calmer and I just feel much more loose and relaxed. I feel like I used to speed everything up and talk really fast, and not take the stage for too long in a lot of my videos. But trying to slow down just a little bit. So yeah, that's passive. If I forget any, I'll put them in the description below. So let's move on. Active healing systems. Now, what are active healing systems? There's a lot that goes into it because we're passive. You don't have to think about anything or do anything. Active healing systems requires more of your energy. So with active healing, this is where I really got started. Bikram yoga, baby. So I went with a good friend of mine, and he was telling me how it was awesome, how he felt so grounded afterwards and all of this stuff, meaning just like connected to himself, to the earth. And I'm like, this is craziness. I need to check it out. So I did it. It fucking sucked, right? It sucked stretching for 90 minutes. And there was a clock in there. I remember there was a clock in there, and I kept looking at the clock. I'm like, when is this shit over? My mind is going on overdrive from the heat. But I stayed in there and I felt amazing. Now, what you're doing in Bikram yoga is hitting these poses that create that your body typically has a lot of tension around. So I remember doing a bunch of poses that opened up my hips, that opened up my lower back, that opened up my hamstring region a little bit more. And that was very brutal for me. But at the same time, I think that the heat helps with that, right? The heat, and fuck, I knew I forgot something. But sweat lounges for passive healing, right? So take the active healing away real quick. Sweat lounges are awesome to go and sit in, just to breathe, for your mind, for your body, something that I like to use. Anyways, back to Bikram, where you're more active, you're focused on your breathing, you're focused on your movement, you're stretching. Next up, and these are things that you have to pay for, by the way. I'll put things that you do not have to pay for. Chiropractor. I think this is essential, and maybe I won't think that in like a year or two from now, but right now I really think that's essential, because what they do is a chiropractor, an effective chiropractor, can help your spine go back to center. Our spine is everything. Our nervous system's connected with the spine. It supports our upper body. It's what transitions our lower body to our upper body, or our limbs, right? Like everything connects to the spine. Your legs, your head, your arms, right? It's your center. So what these people can help you do is get back to a centered place within yourself. And my chiropractor is like a 2-for-1. So my chiropractor does active release therapy, where when I tore my hamstring, she went into my hamstring region, found the spot where it was super inflamed and where my muscle was firing, and had me breathe and actively stretch my leg like this, nice and slow. And what that does is it spreads out the inflammation. It spreads out the tension along your muscles. So it's not like a big, tight rubber band that's about to snap whenever you're stretching it a little too far beyond its boundaries. So she really helped with loosening up my shoulders, doing active release therapy with my shoulders, my hamstring region, glute area, a lot of that stuff. So another really good active this is a lot of information coming at you. So if you have any questions, start dropping them. Drop them in the comment section, and I'll hit you back with a response. And also, let me know how you guys heal yourself, heal your body. I would like to know that. That would be kind of awesome to get this dialogue going. I think there's so much emphasis on the breaking down of the body, the yang, the working out, the lifting weights, the hitting shit, the running, the workout, the fitness realm. I think there needs to be more focus on the yin realm. Next up is Wim Hof breathing. Wim Hof breathing. What is Wim Hof breathing? Well, it's this white dude who came up with this awesome breathing technique. And essentially, you're tapping into your nervous system. You're firing up your body. So it looks something like this. So you'll go for 30 reps, right? 30 reps, and then hold your breath after the 30 reps, and you'll do 3 rounds of that. So you'll go breathing fully in, letting out halfway. "30 times of that, holding your breath. On the last exhale, you want to push it all the way out. Some people could go for 2 minutes, 3 minutes. I can barely get to 2. I'm at like 1 minute to 2 minutes, anywhere between there. Sometimes not even at 1. It just depends what day it is. What is that? What's the umbrella term for Wim Hof breathing? It's bioenergetics. It's something that Elliot Hulse, one of my favorite mentors on YouTube, talks about all the time. It's bioenergetics. It's using your breath to open your body, to tap into your nervous system, to fire it up, to calm it down. So essentially what Wim Hof is doing is the inhale. He focuses on the inhale, which is interesting because on the inhale, when you think of your nervous system, you are firing it up. You are telling it to go. It's like pressing on the gas pedal in the car. You're saying, go, right? And then the brake, the exhale is calming down. So you're doing more firing up, and less calming down. So it's fire, and water, fire, water. So you're fired up. And then what he does, which is awesome, he submerges his body into ice cold water. And he's the one that also got me hooked on cold plunging. So he's going from this fire state immediately, boom, down into the water state in the coldest degree possible. It's very beautiful how he does that. And he just taps into his nervous system in both ways, through the water, through breathing. So there's a million different ways that you could do bioenergetics, but that's a very popular one that a lot of people are doing and utilizing. And it works. It 100% works. There's no doubt about that. And the times that I've tried it, I have felt less reactive throughout the day. I have felt so just inside my body and way more aware and focused. So Bikram, chiropractic, active release therapy, Wim Hof breathing, bioenergetics. And again, this is all active healing where you actively have to participate in the process, right? It's not like you can just, you go to somebody and you're like, oh, heal me, I'm here. You know what I mean? You have to work with them a little bit. Next thing. Massage therapy. Now, my massage therapist, because she's a fucking badass, does massage therapy and Reiki. So Reiki, from my understanding of it, is, and correct me if I'm wrong, somebody out there who's watching might know knows way more than I do, but Reiki is more dealing with energy. I hear sometimes where Reiki masters don't even necessarily need to touch their patients because they're just moving energy with their hands. And it's very beautiful because what my massage therapist does is combines it. She combines Reiki, the energy healing, and massage therapy. So she taps into different layers of my body as she's working on me. I remember one time she was giving me a massage. This was like a year or two ago. And after the massage, she said, hey, you released a lot of stuff there. And I didn't want to stop it, but I'd help guide it out of your body a little bit. I'm like, the hell? I just felt stiff the whole time. I didn't know all this was going on. But she's like, yeah, like you just released some stuff and know that you may feel a little off the next week or 2 or 3 weeks, however long it takes for your body to acclimate to the adjustment. So essentially what she has done is took my body that is like a fucking rock in so many ways, just so stiff, and help calm it down. And I get stiff so easy, just boom, like my muscles tight, whatever. And she always tells me, relax, relax, relax. And what's so beautiful is when she feels that tightness, she yields a little bit to my body. She doesn't fucking penetrate my muscles even deeper. And I think that's a problem with a lot of massage therapy, massage therapists, is that they dig really deep, even when the person's kind of tense. And she told me that when your body starts to lock up like that, if you go deeper into that, when it's not ready, it's only going to fuck you up. Your body lets you know what it needs and what it doesn't need. And when she backs off, she'll go to something else. She might start shaking my muscles like this, right? Or tapping into them, vibrating them, breaking up any tension that's in there, and then resume the massage. So it's something that I'm very much thankful for, that I have her in my life. It's been a huge staple in my healing. And when you talk about trauma, because a lot of this is linked to trauma. This is how I got on this path of martial arts and healing systems, because I realized that there's a huge part of myself that is blocked from the experiences that I've had that allowed my body to protect itself in such a way, through my muscular system, through my nervous system, through the way that I shut down around some people, through the way that my body is just naturally muscular, naturally fucking tight, and how that goes hand in hand with my mind. They're not separated. Like the more loose that I get with my body and the more that I tap into it and just know that it's okay to be in it, my mind is more loose. My mind is more open and trusting towards people, right? And I had a mentor of mine say that when we are in our heads, the world is against us. When we are here, the world is our enemy. But when we get in here, when we tap into our body, when we find a way back, everybody is with us. When we're here, everyone's an enemy. Here, everyone is with us. Everyone is an ally. Everyone can be trusted. But that's not to say that you just put your boundaries down, right? Because I think with more success, with more development within your mind, within your body, the more boundaries you need to set. But at the same time, it's like, I'm ranting here a little bit, I'm getting off. But this is important, it all ties together. Like the more that you are growing throughout yourself, inside and out, the more boundaries you need to put up. Because people will try to test you. People will try to knock you down. People will talk shit, will laugh at you, will this, that, and the third. And boundaries are set in place where if they are crossed, boom, that iron gate comes down. Bam, right? And you still need to protect yourself. And where I have always been, in terms of my mind, and where I come from, is that everybody's an enemy until proven otherwise. That's always been my thing. It's like, you're not a friend, you're just an associate, and really, I will never trust you unless you prove that you are worthy of trusting, right? But I think now my mind has kind of flipped since I tapped into my body so much, is that I am more open to people. I am more open to talking about myself and to being receptive towards others. And that's important because I feel with this day and age of social media and me growing my social media presence, despite me being a classic introvert at heart, but I can channel my extrovert sometimes. It's crucial that you can tap into that you can tap into that trusting side of yourself, that you can tap into boundaries if you need to set them down. And really, all of these systems have helped me in a lot of ways. So let me know if you have any questions. This shit gets really, really deep, and I don't think it will ever stop for me. I think that this is a whole nother world that I'm looking into. I went to Thailand and found a few different healing systems. Ones that I'm not going to mention in this video, unless you guys want to know more about that, I'll mention them. But I don't really keep up with them. I just tried it and didn't really care for it too much. Damn it, I almost forgot this one. Yoga, yin, specifically yin yoga, where this one's more harsh on your body. This is very relaxing. I mean, you take like 3 to 5 minutes sometimes in poses, right? And when I did this in Thailand, this was actually one of the ones I did in Thailand, where I was first introduced to this after MMA session. We focused on hips for like 5-10 minutes, man. It was mind-blowing because I never really focused on that. And it's amazing how much tension and emotion is locked up in your hips that come out when you are stretching, when you are releasing. So I'll go more into detail about this in future videos. Sorry, this was so long. This is like 30 minutes, but I'm not sorry because I think this is really useful information for what I'm trying to do in the future, where I'm going. I want you to see a glimpse of what I'm seeing and what I'm trying to put together for other people. All of these systems that I mentioned here are stuff that I use on a day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month, month-to-month, month-to-month basis. And if I get off from them, I could find my way back in my body through these healing systems. That's really it, guys. Until next time, peace. Boom.